Hey, good morning. Welcome to EXSIN Live. It's Dave, and Phil has some odd eating habits as a man who's married to a vegan, and we're going to talk about tofu today.
It's just one thing about me. I mean, I have multiple things that are odd about me.
That's not, but you're just. It's
we want to bet on that, though.
We did.
We want to bet on that.
Yeah. We're going to talk about tofu today, and it's not the tofu that you eat; it's the tofu that you need to understand if you're a sales professional. If you want to be this guy and this gal, not this guy or this gal.
Right. I mean, it's all about keeping everything full.
So let's talk about it. Your sales funnel. We all talk about leads and lead generation and how do you do that. The first step in this is what's in the top of your funnel. Right. Next step is pushing them through the funnel, the middle funnel, the bottom funnel. But what we see most salespeople do is when the top of the funnel gets a little bit full, they stop focusing on it.
Well, they kick back, they relax.
I got this.
This is so easy. This is the greatest career in the world.
And then July comes around.
They go, I'm broke. I got nothing in my pipeline.
They're selling stuff. Their golf clubs, their razors, their boats,
selling
their cars.
Yeah.
Look, business development, and we really need to start talking to salespeople about business developers, not lead order takers.
Correct. And I think that's a distinction that you got to really make. I mean, we've got clients that spend literally tens of thousands of dollars a month to generate leads for their sales teams. What many times they end up with, if you don't watch it, are just they become addicted to leads, and they forget about self-generated leads. They forget about doing the work to keep their pipelines full, about networking, because they just show up and Daddy Warbucks they got a bunch of leads on their desk.
They're like the fat Yogi Bears that have been eating picnic baskets all the time.
That's right.
Forgot how to hunt.
Living large.
So what does that mean? We talked about the spider and the leopard last week, and this is all part of that discussion as to how you fill that funnel. Yeah. What are you doing week in and week out to ensure that funnel stays full while you're working your cultivation loop?
Yeah, and I think this is an important thing too. I think a lot of times when people hear us talk about grow your sales or grow your sales teams, this applies if you're a solo entrepreneur. It applies if you own a retail store. It applies if you own a manufacturing company. It applies if you own a roofing company, an oil field company, an insurance agency, a real estate. I mean, it does not matter the industry, a floral company. It doesn't matter. If you're not keeping your funnel top of the line, people coming in your door, right, full, you're going to struggle with cash flow.
Let me ask you a question. Ace Hardware down the street, right?
Yep.
Regular, just good old hardware store.
Yep.
Do you think everybody in town knows the owner of that store?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think he gets a lot of business because he's always cultivating relationships in the community?
Yeah, Bill's a monster, first of all. I mean that in a good way. Bill Van Zandt, great operator, great business person. But yeah, I mean, it's ironic you pick him because Bill's a guy that's originally from New Jersey, ends up in Oklahoma.
Oh, Lord.
All the stuff that everybody
is lost.
They would think that. But Bill is a master at sales and business development. He's an absolute master at it.
So is there a mob presence in Guthrie I don't know about?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, fair enough.
We don't talk about family business.
No family business on the show. I get it. So the point of it is it doesn't matter what you do. If you own a retail store, as the owner, you want your team telling people they work there and they're proud to work there and come in to see me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it's, again, we're doing on I guess next week, the 23rd, doing a lunch and learn, talking about the Monday reset, which we'll be doing with one of the Chamber of Commerce's we partner with. But, there'll be all types of business owners in there. And I think this is really something that's an important distinction, because I think if you own a retail business, if you own something that most people don't immediately associate with sales, at least in the purest form of sales, they go, well, this isn't about me. No, Monday reset applies to everybody. Keeping your funnel full applies to everybody. The coffee shops. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. You've got to keep your funnel full with clients, customers coming in. And that leads to something too. We have a saying we teach all of our people, make them a customer, then you can build them into a client, but you've got to take care of something for them. Right. And that applies to everything. And so don't worry about what's going in the top of the funnel as far as what they're going to buy or what they potentially will buy or, what type of customer they're going to become. Just get them in the funnel, and then you have an opportunity to walk them through the cultivation loop, walk them through the process so that you understand what is it they need, what are their problems, what are their challenges, how can I help them, and where do your products or services fit to take care of those problems.
So we talked about what to do, get them in.
Yep.
So what are some ways, Phil, that they can do that? How can they fill their funnel up? What are some things they can do as business development people, company owners, to fill their funnel?
Well, I think, we talk a lot about, there's the old school and the new school. And we talk about this all the time. The most powerful is in the middle, right? There are still things out there that's been done for decades and decades and decades and decades that are applicable today in keeping your funnel full, right? Some of those things are, your networking events, just having a presence in your market, being involved, telling everybody your company story so they understand what it is you do. One of the biggest challenges a lot of people have is people don't know what they sell. I mean, they just don't know. I joke about this. This is a fact. My little town that I live in, where our office is, for years, people would say, okay, what do you do? Because I didn't want to be the guy in a small town that had to always see clients. I wanted to go to the basketball game, go to the grocery store, and be able to have a life. In a small town, that's difficult, but I've outgrown that over the years. But I think one of the things that's really important you understand is you just got to do the basic blocking and tackling of letting people know what you do, right? And do that consistently. I think then you take some of the newer stuff, whether it's AI, social media marketing, all the things you can do. Be plugged into your local chamber of commerces. Be plugged in to networking opportunities and business after hour groups. And, you've got to be a walking billboard for what you do. And then you got to actually tell people what you do. If you do that along with all the cool tools and the resources that are out there, like AI, like social media marketing, like strategic partnerships, all these different things, you'll have a full funnel.
That's fact.
Yep.
Look, this isn't hard stuff, but it's stuff you have to do. It's a blocking and tackling you need to do every week, every day, day in and day out, to ensure you are working your plan.
Yep.
And if you don't keep the top of the funnel full, the pump becomes unprimed and you spend the next 90 days having no sales.
Yeah. And it's such a hard thing to start and stop. And that's what we were really referring to when we first started visiting, about how people will have a great month and they kick their feet back and go, oh man, I'm killing it. No, we had this conversation yesterday with a young sales consultant. Yeah. I said, well, what's your funnel look like? And they go, well, I've kind of shut my funnel off because, I've got a lot of things out there. And I'm going, well, you don't, that's not your choice. You can't do that. You're out of business. And they don't, and he got kind of this panicked look in his face. But the reality is you do not worry about, you don't ever shut your funnel off. Nope. Ever. Because what's going to happen, let's say you got 10 pending deals, right? Out of those 10 pending deals in most industries, you're not going to write 7 of them. So you're going to get 3 deals out of 10. Well, have 30 deals in your funnel and write 9. You've got to keep your funnel full. And the other thing that happens is deals get pushed. We just signed a new client yesterday that we've been cultivating for 12 months.
Yeah.
12 months been in the cultivation loop. 12 months, right? Now, that's not the longest by any means, but that's still a pretty good amount of time. But 12 months of cultivating, developing the relationship, doing the right things, it comes full circle. There's an opportunity. We were able to partner with them. So I think that's a really big thing that you got to understand is you control so few things. The things you do control, we don't control what happens to the economy. We don't control what happens with the weather, and some things that you're selling, weather impacts that. We don't control whether there's good quality employees here at your fingertips. If you need to hire new people, there's so many things we don't control, right? We can control the top of our funnel. We can control that. So latch on to that and really be committed to that.
100%.
Yeah.
So with that, go fill the top of your funnel. Have a great day. Dave and Phil, we are out of here.